what are you? Do you have a thin skin or a thick skin? Are you the kind of person for whom things just bounce off? Or are you the kind of person who has problems and ruminates over what has been said, particularly if it was a bit harsh? Here for Fixing Fractures, restoring shattered relationships in business and in life. What's it all about? 8 steps of relationship rehab to restore a treasured relationship to wholeness and function. People come to difficult conversations from all sorts of backgrounds and different dispositions. I've worked with a lot of business people resolving divisive points in companies, between associates, between partners. What I found is that in business, it's relatively easy in a sense because business reconciles around what makes profit, what works to ensure a company carries on, does well, meets its customer obligations. So it's not so difficult as it is in families sometimes to understand where does all this kind of come to a point and reach ahead that everyone can agree on. That's a difficulty. Now, what I find in business is interesting is that business people, particularly the heads of business, tend to be very thick-skinned. They tend to move on quickly. They don't tend to let things bother them. And in some ways, there are compensations. They don't tend to be as observant or as sensitive to what's going on around them. So what bothers other people doesn't bother them sometimes. That's not universal. There are many different business people, as you probably could imagine. But generally, I find them able to move on, to act quicker, to be more decisive, and to be less affected by questions and conflict. So when we're dealing with people who have conflicts, we're often meeting people who have very different sensitivities. And that's what I mean by thinner skins. So a person who's very creative and who notices carefully what's going on around them, who reacts when people have emotional displays, those are people with thinner skins. The people with thicker skins tend not to let it bother them very much. They tend to just move on and get on with the program and to not understand when sensitive people have been affected by what is coming at them. So what are you? Do you have a thin skin or a thick skin? Are you the kind of person for whom things just bounce off? Or are you the kind of person who has problems and ruminates over what has been said, particularly if it was a bit harsh? So we'll have to consider this when we get involved in any kind of discussion to assess and understand and appreciate the differences that we have between ourselves and other people. Are they thicker skinned? Are we thinner skinned, or vice versa? Whatever it is, we have to get by it. We have to allow the fantastic structure of fixing fractures to neutralize the difference so that people can get to the heart of the matter and resolve the difference.